Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's me coming at you again with another vid. Well, it looks like Miguel's Cotto's next opponent, or potentially his next opponent, will be no other than James Kirkland, the Mandingo Warrior. That's right, James Kirkland. Should be an interesting fight if it does get made, but I was able to acquire this information on Boxing Scene. Shout out to them, by the way. There was some interesting quotes in this article, and it was made by James Kirkland's representative, or his attorney, by the name of Mike Miller. He said here, quote, and this is the interview that he gave to Boxing Scene. I turned over the offer to Eric Gomez at Golden Boy. Now, he is starting the process of negotiating the fight. Now, Golden Boy and 50 Cent would be involved on our side, so it's only fair that everyone's on board and everyone's aware of what's going on. And I've talked to James several times. He's definitely interested about the potential of that fight. So it's basically a matter of, can we make the deal or not? He went on further, said that before he went on further, he was asked about James Kirkland's training situation, because we all know that going into the Canelo fight, he wasn't quite in the shape that he's accustomed to seeing when he's training with Alan Wolf. So Miller went on to further explain and said that, you know what, he hasn't formally been in the gym with a trainer. However, he has been training on his own, strength and conditioning, and James is the type of guy, when he gets a contract for a fight, he trains. Until then, there's no need to spar or that kind of thing. So I anticipate the training would be like for the Alfred and Gulu fight, where he makes it a priority to get the best training possible. Now, if that is with Ann, or Ann Wolf by that matter, which I hope, then he needs to do that. But if he chooses a different trainer, then it needs to be someone who's professional and who does the job well. But when he gets a contract, and if we do, I'm sure James and I will sit down and determine who we think as a team is best for him to do training with. Now, I'm going to leave it at there. Now, there's a couple of things that's going to probably, make you wonder and scratch your head, or maybe raise your eyebrows by that matter. There was two names that stood out in this article. One is 50 Cent, and the other one was Golden Boy. Now, we all know that 50 Cent no longer has a promotional company by the name of SMS Promotions. They filed for bankruptcy after the Kirkland fight, knowing that the company was in financial distress. So they had a couple fighters on their rosters. They had they had fighters like James Kirkland, Your Boy Gamboa, Andre Durrell, who, by the way, didn't even make an appearance on that under that promotion. So that could explain what the financial issues. And Billy Dibb out of Australia. So my understanding, and this is just an assumption, and I could be right here, the reason why that Mike Miller had referred to 50 Cent and brought up his name in this interview with Boxing Scene is because I think 50 made a contractual agreement with his former fighters, that even during financial distress, the fighters are welcome to fight for whoever they want to fight with, and they could be their own managers or free agents, or if they choose to fight, if they go to another promotion, that's fine. That would explain why Golden Boy is getting involved, because I think they're representing James Kirkland. However, I still collect a small percentage of your purse, because I believe that 50 Cent is acting as if he's a manager. Now, if it's so, then obviously he's not in violation of the Muhammad Ali Act, because he's no longer a promoter. So he could be acting as if he's James Kirkland's manager, given the fact that he's no longer his promoter. So that could explain why his name was referred to in this conversation, and this is probably the reason why he's getting involved. Wow, damn, that's kind of shady. Now, that kind of makes me wonder, is he still involved in Your Boy Gamboa's career? Because, obviously Gamboa is suing 50, I believe. I don't know if that lawsuit is still pending. He was suing 50 over amount of dollars that he was promised, or amount of fights that he was promised, and he never got it from 50. So I'll have to look into that situation a little further, or let me know in the comment section below anyone about that situation between Your Boy Gamboa and 50 Cent. But that could explain why his name is being brought up in this conversation, which is kind of shady. You have a defunct promotional company, but yet you can still act as if you're the manager of that very fighter who's going to continue his career with another promotion, and you still get a percentage of his purse. So that could explain it. So Yeah, but if those contracts are public, then yeah, I would see if I can try to search for them, and I can see if I can find any type of provisions in there that would outline my point. But it is what it is, and that's what it seems like to me. Um, and another thing here is that we all know that James Kirkland is a stubborn guy, and he was supposed to fight Gabe Rosado. In case anyone didn't know, he was supposed to fight Gabe Rosado a couple months ago. Of course, the replacement fighter was Joshua Clottey. Um, and for my understanding, James Kirkland acted like a diva in that negotiation process. He demanded more money. I think they were willing to give him an increase in his purse that was offered to him, and he still priced himself out. I mean, he literally, at that point, I thought he sabotaged his career, knowing that he got knocked out badly by Canelo prior. And I said to myself, and I was saying, look, man, you're still getting another shot with HBO, and you're gonna fuck this deal up. So, and that's exactly what he did. Knowing that the Miguel Cotto fight may come about, HBO is willing to sanction it and they're willing to broadcast it. That just shows a sign that he's getting another chance. And I hope and I pray that he doesn't fuck this deal up. He doesn't fuck this deal up and don't act like a diva. You have to understand that Miguel Cotto has the negotiation power, so he's going to have to concede to some concessions here to make this fight happen. But according to Mike Miller, which is James Kirkland's attorney, James does want the fight. He is interested in making this fight happen. So let's hope this does come into fruition. Now, stylistically, let's break this down a little bit. Now, James Kirkland, we all know that he had two opportunities he had tried twice to go without Ann Wolfe in his corner. And we all know he'd been knocked out both times in those fights. Once by Yoshida in the first round, which was surprisingly a surprise upset. And the second one was against Canelo Alvarez, which he was knocked down a couple times in the first round, I believe. Or I think one time he got knocked down in the first round. In the second round, he got knocked down. And then the third round, he really got knocked out badly. He got stretched out in the middle of the ring in that fight against Canelo. But hopefully he does go back to Ann. If he's going to be training under Ann Wolfe, he definitely has a great chance to beat Cotto in this fight. And the reason why I say that, because Ann can properly train him, get him into, can properly get him in the conditioning that he should be in, like he's shown in previous fights, by absorbing certain punches and be able to walk his guys down and apply pressure and wear them down, like he did with Alfredo Ngulu and Clint Tapia. So, definitely, if he wants to, if he's really serious about this fight and he's really serious about beating Miguel Cotto, he's really going to have to go under Ann Wolfe's training regimen. Now, as far as Miguel Cotto's concerned, yeah, he's proven to be a better boxer over time, even though he has slowed down. He will have to give Kirkland some angles, commit to his punches too. I mean, Miguel Cotto can commit to some of his shots when he's moving in angles. And I believe he also has a longer reach than Kirkland. I could be wrong. I have to check and see, but I believe he does. If he does, then use your reach advantage. Keep Kirkland at bay with your jab, so that way it will disrupt his timing. So that way it'll make him reluctant of trying to come in and pressure you, whatnot. So I think that would be good. I think that was displayed in the Carlos Molina fight. Molina was keeping Kirkland at the jab. He was giving him angles. He was confusing Kirkland in that fight, and Kirkland was losing that fight before the stoppage. So, which I felt that stoppage wasn't really warranted, but it is what it is. Let me know what you think. Care to comment below. Care to comment, share, subscribe, and let me know who you think if this fight does get made, who you think is going to win, Miguel Cotto or James Kirkland. Signing off. Peace.